Dímelo mi gente, what up? It's Gus from Gus Village Jewelry, and in this video we're going to be talking all about the brand new GIA announcement. People are panicking all over the diamond industry. Let's break this GIA announcement down, talk about what it means to our industry, and is it going to be changing it for good? Are we all doomed? Let's chat. So what has GIA rocked the diamond world with? What are we actually talking about here? So first off, let me rewind this whole thing. If you guys don't know the difference between natural diamonds and lab diamonds, natural diamond is 99.99% carbon. So is a lab diamond. Lab diamond, of course, just like the name refers, it is created by man in a lab. Natural diamonds deep within the earth after millions of years of creation. Now, there is a huge debate on the internet and even in the diamond jewelry industry. Are both things the exact same? Are they created? Do they have the same actual value? It's this whole debate that a lot of people say, no, well, Mother Earth or God created the natural diamond, so it should be worth this, and lab diamonds are fake, and blah, 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 blah. We've gone to exhaustion breaking down the two, so I'm not even gonna get into that. What I'm gonna get into now is GIA's brand new announcement of how they are going to grade the diamonds. For many, many years, of course, GIA has been around since the 30s. It's an institution that grades diamonds, and of course, that leads to their value. They've been doing this for so many years. They have a huge infrastructure. They are the leading voice of how to grade diamonds and how to value diamonds, of course, outside of the Rappaport. But what they've traditionally had is 4 grades on how to actually tell the value of a diamond. The first one is, of course, color, then cut, then clarity, then carat. Now, those 4 C's, which I'm sure you guys have heard about before, were traditionally how it was done. So they would grab a diamond, they would say, okay, well, this is the cut, this is the clarity, and then they would determine the value. Natural diamonds and lab diamonds, of course, are exactly the same. So what they originally thought was, we're gonna grade lab diamonds exactly the same. So the 4 C's, this lab diamond is a VS1, blah, 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 blah. Now what they are doing is they are saying, since 95% of lab diamonds are all essentially in the top tier of what they would regularly classify as the 4 C's, they are now doing away with the 4 C's for anything that is lab. So now lab diamonds are going to be graded under 2 principal grades. There's going to be premium and standard. So what they're basically saying is that the color and the clarity is usually always pretty good. 95% of the diamonds that are being flooded into the market all fall into that top 5%. So if all of them are around the same color and clarity, then they're just gonna say either some are premium or some are standard. So what that differentiates now is, of course, the 4 C's, because the 4 C's, since there's such a higher spectrum of natural diamonds, and of course there's so many variety of there, then the 4 C's are still going to be used for the natural diamonds, but they're no longer going to be used for the lab diamonds. Now, what does that mean for the lab industry? What are people saying about that? Lab diamonds now have a bigger difference, and of course, people who are pushing natural diamonds out there and saying that you shouldn't be wasting your money on lab and blah, 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 because they're not the same. They're saying now there's a clear distinction between the 2 stones. The reality is there is no clear distinction between the 2, and they're only saying that because of the way that the process of lab diamonds are being made. Now, here's the thing. If I am a lab diamond creator, I am naturally going to make the best kind of recipe to get the best kind of results for lab diamonds. It's a recipe and they're gonna go for the best results. So it makes sense that GIA has switched it this way. Now, the problem that I'm having is how they are spinning it. And again, there is no difference between a lab diamond and a natural diamond. The only difference is how they are created. They are both optically and chemically the exact same thing. Now, of course, there is huge amounts of interest in making natural diamonds stay around, and they want to give them some sort of value. And this primarily is my biggest gripe with natural diamonds. I don't care if you go out there and try to buy natural diamonds. If you like them, that's perfectly fine. I completely understand the argument, wanting something that was made in the earth over millions of years. I get that. We recently went over to Colombia and we saw how they mine natural emeralds, and I realized what people go to get these stones from the ground. But the difference between natural diamonds, lab diamonds, and even emeralds is the perpetual lie of diamonds being rare. That is where I have the biggest gripe with natural diamonds, because if natural diamonds were as rare as, say, for instance, emeralds, then okay, cool. I get the argument. Hey man, this is intrinsically rare. You've created something that doesn't come from the earth, that isn't in any way valuable. And now what you're saying is that they're both the same when they're truly not. That's the argument that is being spoken about with emeralds and lab emeralds. With diamonds, if you go to any mine anywhere in the world, and there's over 15 countries that mine diamonds, diamonds are taken out of the mountains by the truckload. And it's a false scarcity of the big diamond industry that make it look as if diamonds are rare. But the reality is, you speak to any gemologist out there, diamonds are not rare at all. So if you give me the argument that natural diamonds are rare and that's the reason why they're value, it's a flawed argument. And that is my main gripe with them. Don't try to use different marketing schemes to try to make it to where they're completely different between a lab diamond, because that's just simply not the truth. Find value in the fact that they were made in the ground, but not that they are rare, because they are not. And this is the shady part of the diamond industry, because GIA specifically makes money off natural diamonds, and they realize that natural diamonds are declining. They are now pushing this narrative that there is a difference between the two, when the reality is that there's not. And you got big time influencers of the diamond market now scoring this as some big time win, saying, hey, listen, we told you guys they were different this whole time. They're not the same. But that's just simply not the case. And that's really my problem with this whole announcement. Do I think it's gonna change? I don't know. I can't predict the future. All I can tell you is that lab diamonds are here to stay. For those people that think that the lab diamond pushers are out there because they're making more money on them, that's not true at all. The profit margins on natural diamonds as opposed to lab diamonds, it's staggering, the difference between the two. And again, it's the same argument that you guys have been hearing me talk about this whole entire time. It's how much value do they retain over a long period of time. If you buy that wedding ring for $12,000, now it's about $6,000 because the price of diamonds continue to plummet, natural diamonds of course. Get on one knee and you give it to your wife, and 5 years later she's banging out my best friend, and now I have to divorce her. I go back to me, who I sold it to him, and I say, hey, how much would you give me for this ring? And now what they're giving you is maybe $200, as opposed to that same 1 carat stone CVD is $1,500. Same situation happens, they come back to me, I don't give them back anything. But you just lose $1,500 as opposed to $5,000. It's the same argument. Nobody is giving you back more than 20% of the value the minute you walk out of that jewelry store. And that right there is the biggest scam you could ever say in the jewelry industry. So I know that there's a lot of people that have a lot more money than GIA and can influence the market. And they are trying everything that they can do to devalue the lab diamond. But lab diamonds are here to stay. That is the truth. And it's because of the information. We now live where you can just simply go on Google, go on YouTube, and figure these things out for yourself. The common consumer can now just simply look it up. Is diamond rare? Is it enriching economies in different countries around the world because of the diamond trade? The simple answer is no, it's not. The only people that are getting rich off natural diamonds are the big corporations. That's the same thing with any gold. That's the same thing with any stone out there. So the information is out there and people don't care about it anymore. They don't want to put money into these big corporation pockets that are just simply exploiting the countries that they're pulling these stones out. So lab diamonds are here to stay. They are destroying the diamond industry. They are slashing the prices. And if diamonds were so intrinsically rare, then the supply and demand would always be there. And you're seeing it decline as we speak. So my future predictions, I think lab diamonds continue to fall down in price, making it much more affordable. I think natural diamonds are going to continue to go down no matter how much money GIA pours into this new grading system, no matter how much money big companies like De Beers say and separate themselves the two. I think that all of that is going to hit them in the face one day when they realize that natural diamonds just simply don't have that value anymore. They're going to continue to go down and down and down. That's why it's important for guys like us to make these videos, to tell people the reality of what these marketing companies are trying to do. They're spinning it right in front of our faces. If you guys can sift through all the bullshit that they're throwing out there, you realize it's all a big marketing scam. Lab diamonds are here to stay. GIA can grade it however the hell they want. It doesn't matter. At the end of it, you have the power to just Google something and find the information yourself. Tell me what you guys think about this video. Let me know if you guys think that this new grading system is going to change. Is there a difference difference in the way that you approach diamonds if now all there is a premium or a standard when it comes to lab? Tell me in the comments. Let's have an open discussion about it. But also in the comments, don't tell me that natural diamonds are in some way or any way rare, because they're not. I will hit you with some articles. Don't let me hit the power of Google, you losers. I'll see you guys in the next one.